watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny and you probably shit yourself a lot and you're no fun to be with and you don't make that much money and you're not going anywhere in show business and I hope you get hit by a bus.
ends. Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show. I'm gonna get my sticks. The mic is live and clear. You wanna listen in as the show begins. You're telling all your friends the party never ends. Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show.
They suck. Hi, everybody. Hey, happy Thursday to you all. It is Thursday, March 21st. Welcome to the Knockem Date Comedy Show, right here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the Facebook channel, the YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment and say hello, please do so on the YouTube thread, because that is where we monitor the comments. We appreciate you watching, even if it is on Facebook. But if you'd like us to read your comments and engage with us, it's on the YouTube feed. We appreciate it. We got a great show for you in store today. Dustin Chafin will be joining us in a little while. You can see Dustin this weekend at McGuire's in Bohemia. Great comedian, good guy, and looking forward to that. And we have a little surprise for him, which will be a lot of fun. Please, on the YouTube feed, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up. Share the link to this show on all your socials and tell everybody you know about all the great shows here, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Hope you enjoyed Coffee with the Dog this morning. Hope you enjoyed Hershey and the Keegs on Tuesday. That was a good one. I told them afterwards I thought it was their best one. They had sportscaster Russ Salzberg. If you're a New Yorker or if you spent a significant amount of time in New York, you know who Russ Salzberg is, most likely. Been on the New York sports scene for forever. Hello, John Rusiello. Thanks for watching this morning. Thank you all for watching and joining us this morning. No Mike. Mike is not here again. 2 weeks in a row that son of a bitch has not been here. He said he had some kind of meeting today. I don't know what's going on. I don't really pay attention. Next Thursday, we will not be here. Should I do a show? Maybe I'll do the show Wednesday instead. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, next Thursday, me and Don Sill are going to the Mets home opener. Very excited about that. Very excited about that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yes, I won't be here next Thursday. So 3 weeks with no Mike. Unless, yeah, I'll talk to him. Maybe if he wants to do it Wednesday, maybe I'll come in with him on Wednesday. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe not. 3 weeks without Mike. It's probably a nice break. No Andy tomorrow. I'm working on some guests for tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you who it is. All right. So what do we got today? You know, speaking of Don Sill, just wanted to wish him well today. Today is Don Sill's brother's birthday. Let's see, where are we? There's me and Don. Me and Don Sill. It is Don Sill's brother's birthday today. Greg Sill. Unfortunately, Greg passed away. I think it was like about a give or take a week after his 48th birthday 3 years ago. So I'm sure it's not an easy day. But I wanted to wish him well and wish Greg a happy birthday. as he's looking down on us and making fun of us. So, yeah, I wanted to just get that out of the way. John Rusiello said, Mike told you he will be late? Oh, yeah, all right. Well, he told me he has a meeting, I think he said at 10 or 10:30. And he wasn't he made it sound like he wasn't going to make it. Depending on how long the meeting goes, but you know what? I'll read you the text, John, and let's see. I already forgot what the text said because I don't really pay attention. Let's see. I just got an invite to meet with someone tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, I can't turn that down. It's at 10 a.m. Don't know how long it'll be. I'm sorry, Tony. No worries about tomorrow, you dick. Okay, Putz. You jerk off. Okay. That's actually what the text say. Yeah, so I don't think he's showing. I don't know. I didn't take from that he could be late. I mean, he's more than welcome if he wants to show up. Although I do have a guest, Dustin Chafin. Dustin Chafin will be joining us probably around 11:30, give or take. Probably around there somewhere. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If he shows up, great. Who cares? All right. Also wanted to dedicate today's show. So I mentioned Greg getting all the serious stuff out of the way this morning. You guys know if you're involved in anything or maybe it's at a job or an organization you're involved with or something. Like a lot of places have that one person who's just super dedicated to this place. Like, and I don't mean like in a geek way. I'm not talking about like super proud. All right, hang on. John's calling to yell at me. I think he lied to you personally.
He called me last night. He gave me this bullshit excuse that he has a meeting.
Yes.
You and I know who it is, so it's an important meeting.
Yes.
Okay. I said to him, what time is the meeting? He said 10 o'clock. I said, you're like a fucking hamster. If the meeting is not going to last more than a half hour, they don't want to see you more than a half hour. They can't tolerate you more than a half hour. It's 10:30. Get your fucking ass in the car. All right. Don't give me this bullshit story. Oh, it's far, this and that. Go to the show. You have an obligation. All right. This is your longtime friend. What's so important? First of all, that meeting is going to get jerked off anyway. I mean, you know, and I know.
Yes.
Yeah. That's that. We're not going to go there. Okay. But you and I both know he's going to get jerked off.
Yeah.
Second of all, what are you stiffing the guy for? Listen, he's your friend. I gave up on him. Congratulations. You live with him. And here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Next week, all right, if he comes in on a Wednesday, I want you to go to either PetSmart or Petco and buy a hamster in a cage and put a hamster right in front of him and let him look at the hamster go around the wheel, because that's how his mind is.
Hey, if he's getting jerked off, maybe he just needs to go home and take a nap or smoke a cigarette or something.
No, he's not getting. He's getting jerked off, but he doesn't have a happy ending. Believe me. Believe me.
Well,
it makes.
And him not showing up today is the happy ending.
Well, yeah. All right. And now Andy. Well, I just heard that you told me Andy won't be in tomorrow.
That is correct.
You're batting 500.
Yeah, I know.
At least you don't have to look. At least you don't have to look at Andy's ungroomed face. Andy, I hope you're watching because I'm breaking your chops. All right, I love you dearly, but you got to do something about your face. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
You got to do something about your face. Oh my God, John! I should have told you while you were still on the phone. We spoke. It's got to be a good year or two now. We kind of took an informal poll here on this show where the female viewers at the time said that they thought Andy was a very good-looking man. And I am not making this up. I am not exaggerating. That is the God's honest truth. We spoke to the female viewers of the show at the time who all said that Andy is a good-looking man. I'm not joking. Good morning, Mickey. Oh, there's Andy Plajanos. A meeting where I can get jerked off may only be a half hour, but I'm going to need a nap. Right, that's exactly what I said. Damn it, you said that after I wrote it. John needs me to look like a twink? John needs me to look like a twink. What's a twink? The only twink I know is Twinkies. That's because I'm fat. Yeah, I don't know what a twink is. Yeah, so like I said, Andy was... Andy, do you remember that? When some of the female viewers said you were a good-looking guy? I don't know what they're looking at, but yeah. So, yeah, I don't think Mike's showing up. I really don't think he is. Yeah, he's... All we're going to say, yeah, he's definitely getting jerked off. It's a political-based meeting. We'll just, we'll leave it at that. But, yeah. And, of course, he's going to get jerked around. Hey, let me finish my thought before John called. So you all know whether it's, where you work or an organization of some sort or, or maybe a store, like a mom and pop store or something, where there's always that one person where they're almost like the face of the place, like they breathe that place. They're the heart and soul of the place. And I don't mean like dedicated, like those geeky, fast food workers, Can I get your fries with that? Like, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about real decent, cool people who just really do a super job at, with their workplace or organization. So I just wanted to quickly mention where my daughter goes, her day hab. I'm sure, if you watch the show regularly, you all know I have a daughter on the autistic spectrum. And she goes to a day hab. She's high functioning, so this day hab, it's not arts and crafts. They do some good work. They go to old folks' homes and help out the residents. They work with some charitable organizations like Meals on Wheels, John's Crazy Socks. They work with a lot of charitable organizations. They do some cool things. And there's a woman in charge. Her name is Liz. Liz passed away the other day, and today's Thursday. She passed away Tuesday night, and she was the heart and soul of this place. The day hab is called ACDS. They're well known. I don't. Forgive me. I don't. They're not. I don't think they're nationwide or anything like that. I believe they're just a Long Island-based organization. They have a school, for kids, special needs kids. They have the Day Hab Center, and they do a lot of great things. And I personally think it's a great place for my daughter. But yeah, this woman Liz, who did a super job there, she was the heart and soul of this place. Always there when you needed her, always just completely on top of everything. Made it look easy, and I'm sure it wasn't. But she passed away the other night, and just wanted to extend our condolences to her family and to everybody at ACDS. They did not tell their residents, the clients yesterday. They sent a letter, an email, and we had, everybody had to tell their children on their own. So they're all going in there today for the first time with this news. So, and then a weird coincidence. I have my cousin Michelle, who was actually in here on the show a long time ago. But by coincidence, my cousin Michelle knows Liz. And, so I just wanted to, wish Michelle the best and ACDS and Liz's family all the best. She would have been 40 years old this year. Just got married 2 years ago, no kids. Her mother just passed a month ago. So, so I just wanted to mention that real quick, get that out of the way. And, and then we'll move forward. So, all right, so how is everybody doing? Once again, we have Dustin Chafin joining us probably around 11:30. He's playing at McGuire's all Friday and Saturday. McGuire's in Bohemia, which is about a half hour east of us, southeast. It's one of the 3 great Governors Comedy Clubs on Long Island. Tyler Fisher is playing the club tonight here in Levittown. We're hoping to get him in here. Don and I are coming in here tonight. We're going to be interviewing John DeResta, who's playing the brokerage in Belmore Friday and Saturday. We're recording the interview. I'm going to show a little bit of it tomorrow on this show, but we're mainly interviewing him for tomorrow night's Donversations. John DeResta is a very funny guy. He's a Long Island native, probably mid-90s, was it? Mid to late 90s. He had his own TV show called DeResta. That's probably what he's best known for. He's had some other shows like reality shows and stuff. Great comedian. He's been in some movies like Miss Congeniality. He was in that movie. He's been around. And, so he's coming into the studio tonight to record an interview with me and Don. Who else? Brad Upton is playing the club this Friday and Saturday. Sean Brown in the Giggle Room. Teddy Smith. There's an open mic for the late show at the brokerage tomorrow night. Lots of great stuff going on. Like I said, Dustin Chafin, who will be joining us soon. He's playing McGuire's this weekend. And don't forget, Knockem Dead Comedy, September 28th, a night of Triple X Trivia. Triple X Trivia with Knockem Dead Comedy. It's going to be a fun game show with buzzers and sound effects and a digital scoreboard, with our game show podium. There's going to be some prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Ivory Fields will get the show started with his hilarious comedy. So looking forward to that. Mark your calendars for that. September 28th. It's a Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Is it a Friday? Might be a Saturday. It's a crappy week, says Carol. Because I mentioned Liz. Did something happen on your end, Carol? I hope you're all right. May she rest in peace. Thank you, John. Yeah, she was a great woman. Really great woman. A little tough. My daughter's, she's still dealing with the death of her cousin 2 months ago. And now this, this one kind of hurts a little bit. They all do, I guess, right? Stupid. All right. What do we got? So yesterday, my son and I and my wife, it was one of those rare nights where the three of us are off at the same time. It's very rare. I'm usually either here at night or doing a murder mystery or rehearsing a murder mystery or doing something with the PAL. My wife is heavily involved in her church. She's usually doing something. Zach, he's usually working or doing something. So we were all off, and Zach expressed interest in watching the movie Air. You know that movie? Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Jason Bateman. So we watched that last night. It was a good movie. I liked it. I'm not a big Affleck fan. To me, he just plays the same character in every movie. And when he doesn't play the same character, he doesn't do well. I thought he was the worst Batman by far. Everything was just all corny. He played like this all the time. Like he was Shatner. His character was kind of like supposed to be like kind of a guy he was like the CEO of Nike, but he was supposed to be a little off, and I just don't think Affleck pulled it off. But it didn't take away from the movie because Damon's the main character. I thought it was pretty good. It's about how they came up with the Air Jordan sneaker and how they had to get Michael Jordan, to agree to it and sign a contract. And Nike was on the verge of bankruptcy. When this was going on, but they landed Jordan, and it saved the company. I mean, the money they make. I'm not going to give it away because it tells you at the end of the movie how much money they make off this damn sneaker, off that sneaker line. It's insane. Andrew Fremder, I actually have a gig this weekend as well. I will be performing while starting at the ceiling on my... What? Wait a minute. I actually have a gig this weekend as well. I will be performing while staring at the ceiling on my back. Andrew Fremder will be coming in here soon. He's got a book out that he did the illustrations for. He's going to come in to promote that. Maybe we should get you in on a Friday when you and Andy are here, because then you two can just talk. Excellent movie, says Alkins N.A. or Alkins. Fremder Ben Affleck pulled it off on J-Lo's face. Oh, my goodness. The basketball shoe department was in jeopardy. Well, yeah, the whole company was in jeopardy, wasn't it? Maybe I misunderstood the movie. All right, like I said, we're waiting Dustin Chafin, who'll be joining us in a few minutes. He's playing McGuire's this weekend. Are you guys? So for you music fans out there, did you guys see Lenny Kravitz last night on the Tonight Show? I'm a big Lenny Kravitz fan. I love his music, but I will tell you there are some songs of his where I'm like, And then this new song of his that he played last night on the Tonight Show, I'm still undecided. I need to listen to it some more. I do think the guy rocks. I do enjoy his funky. I do enjoy his funk. I should say that. Not his spunk, Fremder. Calm down. His funk. Are You Gonna Go My Way? One of the best songs ever. Ever. That's right. I said ever. Dustin Chafin, who will be joining us soon, he's a big music guy. I'm going to ask him about it. And then also I wanted to ask you guys, while we're talking about music, I didn't even know. I just heard about it this morning. There's a new Paul Simon documentary. Might be on Apple TV, maybe? I forget now. Have you guys, anybody seen it? Apparently it's a two-parter. One part already aired last Sunday, and then the second part is this Sunday. I'm going to have to go find it. I would love to see that. But yeah, has anybody seen it yet? Is it any good? I got some more music stuff after Dustin Chafin. Some Elio news. All right, so what do we got while we're waiting for Dustin? Oh, federal health officials warned this week that the measles cases are on the rise both domestically and globally. 58 confirmed cases in 17 states, including New York. 58 confirmed cases within the first 3 months of this year. The 58 reported cases as of March 14th are equal to all cases reported in 2023. This 93% of the measles cases were linked to international travel, and that destinations such as Austria, the Philippines, Romania, and United Kingdom are all experiencing measles outbreaks. Other states reporting cases were Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Maryland, Minnesota, Missouri, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Washington. A person inflicted with the highly contagious viral disease can spread it to 9 out of 10 unvaccinated people they come in contact with. Of course, they have to point out the unvaccinated because they can't get enough vaccinations in us. I tell you, every time I've gotten the flu shot, man, I end up getting the flu. When I don't get the flu shot, I'm fine. I don't know. I just find this very weird. Like, why? How? How did all of a sudden measles, and of course they have to throw in the unvaccinated. Like, are they going to push that vaccine next? Like, COVID is kind of tapering off, and it's not at the dangerous levels it was at anymore. It's just becoming a serious flu. Some reports are saying that the vaccinations, didn't really make a difference. I'm not looking to get into that debate. I'm just saying that there are, some reports out there like that. So, I don't know. My point is, where are we going now? That threat seems to have tapered off. Again, whether vaccinations, no vaccinations, whatever. Just either way, that threat seems to have tapered off. So they got to try and push this one now. Oh, okay. I think he's here. There he is. All right, hang on 2 seconds. Let me get you set up there, Dustin Chafin. Hang on a second. Okay. Boom. You got me? There he is. How are you, pal?
What's up? Oh, how's it going?
Going all right. Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you.
We are getting ready for McGuire's this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Dustin
That's right.
Chafin. That's right. You've been there before, I'm assuming, right?
You know, it was one of the first kind of out of New York City gigs I ever did. I emceed there years and years ago.
Yeah.
And then I featured, and this is my first time headlining, so it's a lot of fun to be back. But it was like, 20 years ago I was there, so this is kind of a homecoming, if you will.
It's funny you say that. I was going to wait on this, but you gave me the perfect segue. Talking about hosting there 20 years ago, Dustin Chafin, I'm going to show you a video. I think I have video of that night.
Oh no, I didn't know we were doing that.
Well, it's a very weird story. So right here with me is my buddy Don Sill.
Okay.
He works in here with me, and he's one of my close. He's like a brother to me. He actually did interview you during COVID.
Okay.
But he tried about like 20, 25 years ago. He tried doing some stand-up, and it didn't really work out for him. But he was going through his video archives this morning for something else because, like I said, he does a show in here. He does a lot of editing work. And he just happened to come across a video from him doing some stand-up. And he's just said to himself, let me check this out. He hasn't watched it in years. He turns it on, and sure enough, it's you hosting. So he reaches out to me. He goes, aren't you talking to Dustin today? I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. So he sends the video over. He's like, what are the chances of this? So it's only a minute long. It's just a couple of clips of you. So
I can't even.
Yep, get ready.
I'm probably doing the same material.
Well, here it comes.
We'll work in this room.
Oh, look at that head of hair. Oh, my goodness.
You got more love, man?
Oh, you can't hear it at
yeah.
least. Oh, my
now you
gosh,
got the love.
there it is.
All right.
Wow.
Very funny comic coming to the stage.
Like
Give it up for
seller
Don
almost.
Sills. Come on, Don.
Oh, is that what it is?
Woo, give Don some
It looks
love.
like
Where
the
are you,
seller.
Don?
It's not,
Oh,
but
they're
you
hiding
know
in the
what I mean?
crowd.
They're
That
like the
explains it.
same.
All the comics in the crowd.
Brick and flowers right there. Oh, look at me. Look at all eager and just full of hope.
What's up, everybody?
Oh.
Everybody doing good today?
Eager and full of hope. That's great. What are the? I just couldn't believe it. He just found that this morning. That was insane.
Funny.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I'm still in it. I'm still in it, baby.
well, you are still in it, but talking about coming back to New York and videos. What is this video? You're coming back to New York. You're already getting lost.
I'm getting lost. You know, it's just like I feel like I've been in LA 3 years. I was in New York over 20 years.
That's right.
And I feel like you just lose your like New York, thing. Like
Come on.
Lose that vibe a little bit. It takes a couple of days. I'm sorry, it is. It's like trying to play guitar again or whatever. It's like it just takes a second. You got to get back into it.
It's like riding a bike.
I'm not used to the cabs. So that was the thing. I get this cab. I got out of the cab. I just kept walking. The guy said, "Where's my money?" And I was like, I'm so used to lifts. I was like, and I had to explain, I'm not ripping you off. I just thought I was, because you just get, I'm bouncing around doing spots and just, my brain gets mushed. But
You're lucky you didn't get out and kicked your ass.
Well, I could take him. I could take a cab driver. Come on. I'm from Texas, kid.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Is that
he wasn't Italian. He was just like,
Is that a Texas Rangers hat you got on there?
I know. I'm probably gonna. Not too. People are gonna get mad because I'm wearing a Rangers hat. But we have one World Series, so I'm gonna wear it with pride.
New Yorkers. Yeah, they're sympathetic to Texas Rangers. If you were wearing Boston hat, that would be different.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not that dumb.
All right, so I have to get. This is the important stuff that we have to get out of the way. Now, I don't think we actually officially met the last time you did Riccadonna and Burns show. I was the guy sitting here engineering the whole thing, but I wasn't on camera. I don't know if we officially met, but that was a great show, by the way. But it was great because you were on it. Where I'm going with this, let's just talk about how annoying Riccadonna and Burn really are.
Talk about guys that won't go away. Oh my god, they just keep coming back.
Especially Burn. I mean, he's ancient. Come on, Grandpa, get out of the way.
Yeah, he's an institution, that guy. Like, he's just, every point in your life, there's a Richie Byrne sighting. He just comes up. But, yeah, those guys are, hilarious because they just, they've been in this for so long and they know all of us, and we all have like a road gig story together. We all
Right.
like played a church or some weird place, and so yeah, they're always a fun time. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I'm not around them that much, but I love them.
The smell that goes on in this room when Richie Burns sits in this chair next to me, it's insane. It's unbelievable.
And that voice. I got a joke. I got a joke.
Well, then you got Riccadonna, who sounds like he's just hitting puberty when he's always squeaking when he talks.
Oh, that's right. He's got the hi, Paul Provenza.
Paul Provenza. That was good.
I love those guys.
Absolutely. They're good boys.
It's like your family. I mean, comedy becomes your family. I mean, my family's kind of a shit show, so
yes,
a curse. But those guys, comedy, you become a band of brothers, and it really feels like you go through trauma together, and comedy, and then you just have good times and bad times, and yeah, it's just like I love my comedy family. It's been great being back in New York and seeing everybody, and just kind of catching up with memories and things of all the comics I've worked with. So yeah, I do love that about New York, because it's like it is kind of a more of a tight group here.
Yes.
LA is kind of more like, so who do you know? What are you doing? And then New York is like, remember that time we played that cafeteria?
Right.
You were drunk, and I'm like, what?
and even the audiences too, especially. Here on the island, especially, in the city is a lot of tourists. Here, it's just islanders, and they don't. I personally, I don't know how you feel, but I personally feel they don't care. Like, you can get a little politically incorrect, and they're fine with that.
They are, but I've learned a lesson though when I played Belmore last year.
Right.
You got to be careful making fun of Long Island. They're pretty prideful.
Yeah.
I did like 4 minutes up top, just making fun of Long Island, and they're like, "Okay, that's enough." So I had to like dig out. I was like, "Okay, hey."
Wow. Well, do you know Tom Kelly?
I do. Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing nothing but posting these videos on Instagram where he's making fun of basically every Long Island town. So,
well, he's kind of one of them. When you
yeah.
From Texas, you're like, all right, buddy, we can make fun of our own, but.
Yeah, I don't know if he's getting away with that. I think you might actually be safe, because I think they're all looking for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be
so
safe.
it did have backfire a little bit. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Don't mess with Long Island. All right.
No, not at all.
Island, we can all use that as a punchline, but Long Island, you got to be careful.
It's true. It's true. So I watched the Dry Bar special and loved it, by the way.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I really loved it. And I loved how you even picked on them a little bit. If you felt the joke didn't hit, you kind of gave it to them a little bit. Because I remember when you did Riccadonna and Burns show, it was called Cranky Pants.
Yeah.
But now on YouTube, it has a different title.
Comics, we get no respect. I mean, as Rodney would say, I mean, they just do whatever they want. One day they were like, yeah, we'll post it on YouTube. And we got to have a different title. And I was like, okay, whatever. So
they did check with you first, and you were like, eh.
No, they didn't check with me.
Oh.
They just did it, and I was like, just happy it was on YouTube, so people could actually see it instead of that app that they do. So I was just like, whatever. I really don't care. I'm just glad people get to see it. I mean, it's off of one of my jokes, Nothing More American or something, the Greasy Pig thing.
The Greasy Pig, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, if they were to name it that, I really don't care. I've been doing this long enough. I'm just happy somebody's showing something I'm doing. I don't care. Except for that video you showed. I'm like, oh my God. You could have cleared that with me. What was up with that hair? That's why I wear hats.
Yeah, well, I hear you. Well, see, my hair was worse. I had like a weird Jufro. I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah, I might go to Turkey and get one of those Brad Pitt hairlines. Who knows? They keep hitting me on Instagram. I'm like, I'm going to go.
Well, you may as well go to Turkey and do that. I mean, you've been everywhere else. You've done everything else. Between Mormons and family members getting arrested. I mean, you've had quite the go there, man.
Yeah, and it's not stopping. My brother just got out of jail, so yeah, it's an ongoing thing.
Well, all right, but that's at least a good thing, right? Or I'm hoping.
Comedy, yeah, absolutely. it's my family's comedy gold. Yeah, I always have somebody I can make fun of. But yeah, it keeps it interesting. You don't want a boring family. Everybody loves each other. Everybody shows up for you and supports you. You don't want that. That's not funny.
Who needs that after the show? That was great. You did. We love you. No, who needs that?
Nobody wants that.
But now are you married, or you at least have a steady girl, right?
No, I am been in a relationship with another comedian, Leah Bonema. We've been together almost, I think it's coming up on 18 years. We've been together. So
that's great.
It's kind of like marriage. We got a dog, but we're not married. So if anybody wants out, we make it easy. No paperwork. We don't have to call anybody. There's, so it's pretty easy.
Except you fight over the dog.
Yeah. Oh, nobody. Well, that's why we're not getting. Yeah, we're staying together. It's because of this dog.
Yeah,
another 15 years.
But that it's another 15 years.
Depends how long he lives. Hopefully.
But now, what's that like? Is it? Do you go over your material with her, or vice versa, and then you got to be honest with each other? Like, no, that kind of sucks.
Dating somebody that does what you do is always kind of a challenge. I mean, we end every fight with, "Hey, I'm going to use that," and, so, and we fight over who gets the joke.
I say that too to my wife, but it has a completely different meaning. But do you guys ever travel together and work together?
We do not as much as we used to. In the beginning, we did. We did some stuff for the troops overseas and stuff like that. We did some of those tours together, and once in a while we'll co-headline or we'll just work together, showcase together, somewhere at LA or something. But
that's got to be rewarding going out to do the USO stuff.
Yeah, that was great. That was some of the best times in my comedy, career. It was just kind of, going over there and seeing all those guys and talking to them and they're so homesick. And so a stand-up is great because we bring, all the American culture references and
you make fun of Long Island there.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. I wanted to ask you, where did I see this? I don't think it was Rick and Don and Byrne. I think I was watching something else where you talk about, you told a story about not having a great set and a Johnny Cash impersonator makes fun of you after this.
Oh, my God.
I want to know, but wherever I saw this interview, you never said what he actually said to you.
Well, he was just on stage. It was crazy because I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan.
Yeah.
And I showed up and I was so excited to perform because, I had the Johnny Cash shirt on. I was such a dork. I was just I'm such a Johnny guy. And so, I did this show and it was they were all 1,000 years old. There's oxygen tanks, and it's just it's one of those crowds. There's at least 4 wheelchairs. You're like, okay, and it's there's no stage. Of course, Johnny and the band, they had a stage, but I had to be on the floor, and with a cord about this long, and so I couldn't go anywhere. That's the worst when you're trying to work the room and you can't move because you don't want to disconnect the mic. And so it's just one of those shows, and somebody said something, and I just made fun of a lady in a wheelchair, and everybody got mad, and it was a whole thing. I was doing all I could, And then and then Johnny, and when I met him, I was in my head, he's Johnny Cash. I lost the fact that he's an impersonator.
Did he look like him too?
He looked exactly like him.
Oh, wow.
Picture. He looks just like him. He's he's the famous. He's the one that goes in Bronson, Missouri, and he does all the famous tribute shows or whatever. But he looks great and he sounds great and he's a great Johnny Cash. And he just got up and he was just well, I had your tail between your legs, and he was just saying something like his set went down in a ring of fire, and trying to be funny. And then I just flipped. And I was like, screw you, Johnny. I'm going to go bang June Carter in the parking lot. I just lost the fact that he wasn't Johnny Cash. I was just going off on him. And then afterwards, somebody was just, the booker or whatever was like, did you flip out on Johnny Cash? I go, no, I flipped out on some guy named Steve who thinks he's Johnny Cash. I don't know. That's not Johnny Cash, dude. I don't know what. He died 6 years ago. What are you talking about? And so they're acting like I disrespected Johnny Cash.
that famous picture of Johnny Cash giving the finger. That's to you.
Yeah. And I flipped him off too. I the whole thing, and I was gonna fight him. I was like, and then I watched his set and was gonna fight him. I was so mad that he messed with me, and then I was like, what am I doing? And then then I just got lost in the music, and I was just like, Johnny,
I love you, Johnny. Wow, that's really
boy
funny.
named Sue, and I was in, so I didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. What would be your best gig and your worst gig?
Worst gig, probably the worst gig is probably one time I did a show, and it was like, I think it was like it was some big show for like African American like students and stuff, and it was like, but it was very high end. It was like students from MIT and Yale and all these like prestigious schools, and they were doing the show, and it was like in all the comics, it was like black comics, and then I was the token white comic. And then I got up on stage, and I was having a great set. I was probably, about 15 minutes in. I'm just crushing it, having a good time. And then I did this joke about, my grandfather was Native American, and he lived on his whole life on a reservation. Like, it's legit. I'm not one of those fake Native guys that smokes an American spirit and says that I'm part of the tribe. You know what I mean? Like, I got a card and everything. And so I just like, and then I said, I did some joke like, about just basically like, the natives were killed and their land was stolen from them. At least black people got to travel. And then they just went crazy and started booing me for a good like 2 minutes. And they're just, a sea of like 3,000 people just booing.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm just up there just taking this boo, and and I'm trying to get out of it. I'm like, no, I'm Native, and like try to like prove this thing. And then I just kind of went and did another joke, and it kind of like fizzled out. And then, it was like a whole thing, because I just felt like, and then it was so funny because, and then literally it was like 3 months after that, I did the same joke on Showtime, White Boys in the Hood, and it got an applause break. And I was just like, that's comedy.
Right.
You go from a joke that gets a boo to a black crowd and gets an applause break. And it's like, you just never know, what you're going to get in comedy. But that's probably one of the worst. And, one of the best is like, it's hard. I feel like I have a lot of great sets. I've been touring with Nate Bargatze, and we just did, we do like 15,000 people, and all those shows are amazing. But just, I don't really, to me, any show, last night was one of my best sets. Like, I feel like as long as the crowd is with me, that's my best show. It's not like a particular show. It's like, to me, it's just like, it's a particular like connection that I have with the crowd. Those are my best shows. It could be 15 people. It could be 15,000. As long as there's a connection and I'm having a good time. Any set where I'm having fun is my best set. So.
There's nothing performance-wise. There's nothing better than feeling that connection, and that you're totally on the same page. There's nothing better than that. And like you said, it doesn't matter how many people.
It's just any crowd where there's not folded arms,
right?
And where somebody looks miserable, and somebody's just staring through your soul. It's like some of these crowds, I'm just like, why are you at a comedy club? Like, it's like, why are you here? You could have stayed home and had that mean face on.
Right,
like, what are you
doing?
And so it's like, or my favorite is when guys get tough. What'd you say? And I'm like, really? You're gonna get tough at a comedy show?
Right.
Like, it's like when, so as long as none of that's happening, it's like, it's a great set and a great show to me.
Do you feel that whether it's you or anybody else, you feel that that's happening more often? Because you have so many comedians now posting, all these crowd work type videos, and it almost seems like some crowds think that's the norm now.
Yeah, it's crowd work is fun. I like it. I'll probably do a lot of it this weekend. I like to, because when I don't do it, I feel like sometimes the audiences, they don't connect as quick because you're just kind of like, rushing into material. And so I think it's fun to kind of like engage with them, maybe, kind of interact in a way so you can get to a joke, like play with somebody who's in a relationship and then get to your relationship material. Yeah, I think it's a craft that not everybody can do well. And I think what happens is like you have to be careful with it though, because like I said, it's like if you make a crowd angry or whatever, like you have to, it's a fine dance between kind of like, getting them on your side and not letting them go wild. Because if you talk to them too much, sometimes that they think that's all they're going to do is yell out they step on punchlines. So it's quite a dance. You have to kind of like rein them in. Because I say that stand-up comedy is it's all about talent, and it's all about being a substitute teacher sometimes. So you gotta control the audience.
Right.
Like you sit down, no, you go to the bathroom, no, you're just like
and crowd work can just can just tank depending on what's being said.
But it can also be the most electric thing in the world.
Yes.
And so it's I had a spot the other night, and it was just like messing with this guy and his little Indian guy, and I did this joke on vegetarian, and I go, "You vegetarian?" He's like, "No, I eat chicken, I eat beef, I go, "You eat everything but pussy is what I'm taking." It's like, and he's a little nerdy guy, and the crowd went bananas. And
That's
so
great.
it was a moment where I was just like, "All right, man, I'm gonna close on that," because it was just such a moment. But that's the thing, you just kind of. You find those moments, and you got to kind of be an assassin and know how to get in there.
Yes.
And I grew up watching guys like Rich Voss and, guys that just they're just masterful at it, and it's just like, I remember him just being on a stool with a ponytail and talk about crazy hair and just sitting there, just, hey, going after people. And, so I grew up kind of watching some of those kind of guys go up and, do it well. And I think that helps me, I'm pretty good at it because of, who I saw, kind of like, Lampanelli, all these people that knew how to kind of push the crowd and also keep them like entertained and like know that it's just a comedy show and everything, and just, not let it go buck wild,
Exactly. What it's supposed to be. And speaking of other comedians, I know you're a Carlin guy. What thoughts on this whole AI George Carlin special thing?
I mean, it's everything that, he would make fun of. The fact that we're doing such ridiculous things, like he was always calling us out on how ridiculous the human condition is and what we do to each other and what we shouldn't be doing. And so, it was kind of funny. I listened to it. I love Carlin so much. I saw him walk like 9 people once, like in Vegas. And,
really?
Yeah, it was great. It was such a funny moment. Cause I saw him 5 times. He was a guy that is like, no matter what the tickets were, I'd always go see him.
Yeah.
I knew it was a limited time. So I just always went and saw, his specials or his engagements. And I saw him, it was in Vegas, and there was like a bunch of seniors up front, and he was talking about religion or something, and they got up in the middle of his act and started walking out, and then he stops and he's just like, "What did you think I was going to do? Do you not know what I do? I'm George Carlin." Like he just had like a meltdown, and it was so great to watch, because it's like, at the end of the day, he was still just a comic. And it was so great to see, like, yeah, even a guy at that level is like, just like, oh my God, with this crowd. And so it was so funny to watch him kind of like lose it a little bit. Wow. And I stood up and I was the only one, and I was just clapping, standing up, just cheering this on, because audiences are so stupid. Like, how do you not know that he's going to like push the envelope? It's George Carlin.
Right. Do you not know who George Carlin is, for crying out loud?
Yeah. Well, they're old. They just probably thought he was the guy from, when he was hippy dippy weather guy or something.
Right. You said you're the only guy clapping. Those seats are in the front. Did he say you come take these seats?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he should have.
Yeah. Right. Now I also know, you are a big music guy, like you mentioned Johnny Cash before.
Yeah.
When Richie Byrne and Rick Adonna talked to you last, I think you were home. And in the background, I noticed you had the Butcher cover in the background.
Yes.
Is that an original?
It is.
Really?
I don't want to tell too many people that, because they'll break into my house.
Well, you got a dog to protect you.
Yeah. I got a little Chihuahua pit bull that take your head off.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that thing worth?
Yeah, I don't know, a couple grand.
Really? Wow.
It's like I love vinyl records. That's once I stopped drinking and going crazy, and I kind of found another addiction, and that addiction is record stores and music, and I love vinyl records. I love having a collection, and it's so cathartic for me. I just can just chill out.
Yep.
I can just pull a record out and put it on, and I like the idea of the artwork and looking at the record and reading the lyrics.
Yep,
and
me and you both.
Putting it on the vinyl, flipping it over, and all those things I miss. It's like
yes,
the Apple Music and all that is great, but there's just something really just kind of nostalgic about just being able to pull a record out of the sleeve and play it. And I like collecting them, and that's probably where all my money's going. I mean, it's like. It's like kind of the Beanie Babies for me, I guess. It's like I just collect all these albums and stuff.
Well, and
that's what I'm retiring on, Allman Brothers album, Beatles album,
Well, and it's funny. Was it? I think it was. I think it's your special, right? Don't you ask somebody about music, and you said, "What do you collect CDs?" And the place roared, right? That's part of your special, right? Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been something I did.
Yeah. I thought maybe it was something else I watched, but but I'm the same way as you. But with CDs, when I saw that clip, I was like, that's me. But I have it's got to be around 10,000 CDs in my collection, and it's the same thing. I like reading. I like looking at the art. I like reading the liner notes. And I'm like this with everything: movies, comedy, the whole works. Like, who wrote this? Who played this? Who said this? Who's in this movie? Like, I love all that stuff. So is the butcher cover? Is that the most is that the most valuable item you have?
I think so. Yeah, probably. I mean, I have Dark Side of the Moon, an original, and I have some other cool stuff. But that's probably my prized possession, if you will.
And that's part of the fun too, right? The actual pursuit of I miss going to you mentioned living in the city. I mean, in the village, they used to have all these great record shops, and I used to go there all the time with my buddies, and we would look for all these different things we were hoping to find, and it was almost like a fun. It was almost like hanging out in a bar. You hang out and talk about, I saw this concert the other day, or I saw that. Oh, did you hear this new tune? And you would talk to your friends and hang out for a while and have some laughs too. I kind of miss that stuff.
I was at a record store yesterday. My friend Jamal owns a place, Village Music World on Bleecker, and it's like one of my favorite things to do. Just go in there, hang out with him, and I just kind of look through and just dive through the crates and see what I can find. And that's what I do on the road. I feel like a lot of times you go to these places, I don't, it's like little small towns or whatever, and most of them have a record store, and that's where the cool people are, and that's where people are going to know what's going on in the city, and and then I can just talk music and hang out, and so I enjoy that because I don't go to bars anymore. I go to record stores at noon, So it's kind of like what I do these days.
Yeah, I hear you. And we can't really get into trouble at the record stores.
Unless you ask for a Taylor Swift album, and then you might get in trouble.
I used to work. A buddy of mine owned a CD shop in the '90s, and it was we had some authorities come in one day to see if we were selling bootlegs. And
hilarious.
that scared. I mean, I was in my 20s. I didn't know any better. I didn't know it, and at the time, nothing would have happened to me. But I just remember being like shitting myself, like, holy shit, what are these guys going to do to us? I don't even know if there were bootlegs there, but they probably were. But
remember that episode on What's Happening when
which doobie you be
rerun Rerun had the tape recorder under his trench coat at the Doobie Brothers concert.
Right. And the concert stops. Rerun, we thought you were our friend.
What was funny about it was this big tape recorder, one of those ones you just put on the table, and he had duct tape to his big belly. It was so funny.
And he's dancing. He's doing his rerun moves, right?
Yeah,
that tape would have sounded terrible.
He got to rerun, man, and then it just that was so funny.
He got to rerun.
Yeah. This has been a success. We got to a rerun reference. So. That's all. This is good radio podcasting right here.
That's right. We're topical.
We are. We're topical. We're hanging in there.
It's
like 35 years ago.
I think it's even longer than that. That's great. What are some of your favorite bands?
My new favorite band right now is the Black Keys.
Oh,
They're
nice.
so good. They've been loved. They opened for Guns N' Roses. I went and saw that show. I was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Nice.
And that was a great show because I love the Black Keys. They're like just two guys playing like
Right.
modern blues and just a really cool sound. I'm a big blues guy, big early like ZZ Top and
Nice.
stuff like that. And
Waiting on a
B.B.
bus.
King. Yeah, it's good stuff. I like that. So, there's a band called The Struts. I like. They're kind of a newer band. They kind of sound like an old. I like new guys that sound like the older guys. Like, because I love the fact that, when young people pick up guitars and like, really, instead of doing all this, computer music or whatever. I
Right.
like it when young people are still, banging the drums and
Yep.
starting a band. And so I support any like young rock and roll band. I really get and I like jazz and all that
Oh,
weird
nice.
stuff too.
I
yeah.
like. Have you listened to Eddie Van Halen's son? He's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. At first, I was a little hesitant, and then I guess the first album when he was actually did an album, I got into it a little bit.
Yeah,
And,
me too.
Yeah, and that's very much kind of like you could tell it's everything that he loves, that '90s music and kind of grunge, and kind of created his own sound from it. And that's a hard thing, when you got a last name like that for somebody
Well,
to take
true.
you serious.
Yeah.
And so I think he did a good job, just kind of like making his own sound, which
Yep.
is great.
Agreed. And
It's almost worse than like a comedian that has like a famous last name. It's like like Tony Rock or
Right.
whatever.
Well,
but then sometimes it might be easier too.
Well, I just maybe a month or two ago, Greg Giraldo's son was here at Governor's.
Oh, okay.
And and I didn't I had heard through the grapevine that his son was out there, but I didn't even know at the time that it was him. Somebody told me a few minutes after, but he doesn't really look like him. There was nothing that would have made me say, "Oh, Giraldo, that's like Giraldo." Like it was nothing, and I was kind of happy about that. Like he wasn't. You didn't get the impression he was cashing in on anything. He was just doing it himself.
Well, this is kind of morbid and dark, but Greg Giraldo was my sponsor.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was my first sponsor in like getting into recovery. Yeah.
Oh.
I love Greg. Greg was one of the best comics that ever lived.
Oh yeah, man.
He
Absolutely.
was such a great person and such a great comic. Unfortunately, had all these demons, and it's sad that we don't have him. But he was. I loved watching that guy on stage, man. He was so good, and even if he was drunk or whatever, it didn't matter. That guy was so smart and so funny, and was able to kind of like he was a guy that could get away with kind of this political angle. And very much Carlin, or where he could just kind of like talk about things that are going on in the world and like never lose the crowd,
right?
Because he always had such a kind of funny way of presenting ridiculous things that were going on in the world, and he was so smart and such a good writer, and so I miss him so much.
But you have a little bit of that in you. You don't always play it safe. You go like from watching the Dry Bar special. I really felt there were bits and pieces that I felt was very Don Rickles, style.
I love Rickles.
Me too.
That's definitely when I first started comedy. I listened to 2 CDs over and over and over, and one was Stephen Wright, I Have a Pony, and the other one was Don Rickles' Hello Dummy, and those were the 2 CDs that I just played over and over and over. And with Stephen Wright, I learned the structure of what a perfect misdirect is,
right?
How to just do a quick joke that's going to hit, and how to kind of like be absurd. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to do that. And with Rickles, I learned that just be fearless as long as it comes from a fun, silly place,
right?
And and people can tell that you don't mean it, and you're just playing around. And like those 2 guys really kind of shaped kind of what I like to try to do on stage.
Absolutely, and it shows, pal. It shows. The Dry Bar comedy special, Grease in the Pig, or whatever they called it now. Is that true?
Nothing more American, I think is what they call it. I'll take that one. Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, actually, I think
Nothing
it was
More
both.
American.
I think it's both. Grease in the Pig, Nothing More American, or
I don't know.
Grease in the Pig was definitely in the title. But is that true, by the way? That they actually do that at rodeos? I never heard of that before.
Yeah. They do all kinds of stuff like that. You know, they got to get the kids involved. You know, you just slaver up a pig and go get him. And they go buck wild out there.
Oh my! It's a different world out there, man. Different world. All right. Before I let you go, I do have one viewer who lives in Texas. She wants to know where you're originally from and if you have any gigs coming up in Texas where she can come see you.
Okay, great. Well, I was born in a place called Kilgore, Texas, and that's in the middle of nowhere. It was a oil town back in the late '60s, and kind of dried up. And then we started doing pretty well for ourselves, and we moved to Wichita Falls, Texas. And then Dad got a job in Dallas, Fort Worth, and I spent most of my years in the Dallas, Fort Worth area. So basically over by the Cowboy Stadium, but I'm a Steelers fan, so sorry about that. I'm a traitor.
Wow.
And Nate Bargatze and I I'll be on the Be Funny tour with Nate Bargatze, and we're going to be going through Austin, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and then I'm also headlining in Corpus Christi June 5th and 6th, I believe, or 7th and 8th. At Mesquite Comedy Club there. So yeah, you can go on my website or my Instagram, hit my link tree, and get you my schedule or DM me, whatever. But yeah, I go through Texas quite a bit.
DustinChafin.com, is that correct?
Yeah, you can find something on there. I need to update it. I feel like I never have my stuff together. I'm always like a step behind with like information.
Story of my life. Yep, I hear you. And yeah, go check out the Dry Bar Special on YouTube, and of course, come on down to McGuire's in Bohemia this weekend. The place is great, the crowds are great, and of course, you will not be disappointed. Dustin puts on a great show there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great one. So go to govs.com and go see. You're there Friday and Saturday, right?
Friday and Saturday, that's right.
Very nice.
Stay out there, to get to know the town a little bit. That last stop, Ronkonkoma. Last stop, Ronkonkoma.
Yeah, and there's a lot more island after that as well. So there's a lot to see out there. So Dustin, thanks for your time, pal. I really appreciate it,
buddy. This is great.
This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Hope it's a great weekend for you out east, and hope we'll see you again on here.
All right, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. A lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks, pal. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, buddy.
All right, there he goes. Dustin Chafin, ladies and gentlemen. That was fun. There we go. Boom, bang. Okay. That was fun. He's got a great... So, the original special was called Cranky Pants, which I meant to ask him why it was called Cranky Pants. Oh, well. But then on YouTube, it's under... I think it's called Greasing the Pig. What did he say? American... the American Story. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now. Let's see. YouTube. Dustin Chafin. Oh, Dry Bar Comedy. Oh, that's cool. Nothing says America like a greased pig. That's the name of it. Nothing says America like a greased pig. So go on YouTube. The whole special is only 22 minutes and 33 seconds. So it's not that long. Go check that out. It's very funny. Very funny. Good guy, Dustin Chafin. And go to govs.com. Go see him this weekend at the brokerage. Lots of great comedy at the brokerage at McGuire's in Bohemia. Dustin Chafin this weekend at McGuire's in Bohemia. But lots of great comedy this weekend. This is one of those weekends it's hard to choose from which club to go to. You got John DeResta playing all weekend at the brokerage in Belmore, and here at the main stage at Governors in Levittown, you got Brad Upton. I mean, these are three heavy hitters right here, man. Also, Sean Brown, Teddy Smith. There's an open mic Friday night for the late show at the brokerage. Tyler Fisher is tonight here at Governors in Levittown. Lots of great stuff going on. All right. Now, also, I mentioned earlier we have some Elio news. Of course, we're talking about my buddy Elio Pace, who I talk about all the time here. I showed it earlier. I'll show it again real quick. Elio is he's currently touring. He just started this week his latest Billy Joel Songbook tour. Just started this week, and Elio does a fantastic Billy Joel show called the Billy Joel Songbook, where it's basically him describing why he thinks Billy Joel is the best American singer-songwriter ever. And it's a great show. I've seen it. It's wonderful. His band is top-notch. And there are the dates right here, a bunch of dates. If you're in the England, Ireland area in the next month or two, be sure to check this out. I was going to go at the end of April out to England to see Elio and check out a show. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it. However, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read something to you from Elio. Elio put an announcement out this morning. Elio is beside himself with joy to announce that after an 11-year break, he is returning to performing his own songs this coming November in 3 exclusive shows. Tickets for my songbook, My Life, go on sale tomorrow morning, Friday, March 22nd, at 10 a.m. UK time on eliopace.com. It was after December 2013 at Ronnie Scott's in London that Elio made the decision to put aside his own material and concentrate fully on getting the Billy Joel Songbook show going. So the Billy Joel Songbook show with Elio, celebrating 10 years. And I'm going to take full credit for this, by the way. The Billy Joel Songbook was something Elio always wanted to do. Since his 20s, he wanted to do a Billy Joel show. I think he tried a little bit here and there, but didn't really put a lot of effort into it as he was doing other gigs. But then in 2013, in September of 2013, Billy Joel's very first backing band, they backed him on, his first 2 or 3 years as a solo artist. In 1971, 2, whatever. These guys and Billy performed a concert on Philadelphia radio, and where Billy Joel played some song. He only had one album out at the time, and he performed songs from that album. He also performed other songs that he had written but hadn't put out yet, including this one song called Captain Jack. You all know the song. Captain Jack himself has been in this room. Billy Joel performed that song, and the radio station's phone lines went nuts. People wanted to hear that song again. They wanted to know who this guy was that sang it. That song, it broke records for that particular radio station for the amount, for one song to get requested. So they took the recording from that concert and they put it into their rotation and played the song like crazy. Eventually, the record executives at Columbia Records heard of it, and they signed Billy Joel to a deal. So that concert is kind of a legendary thing. Billy Joel put that concert out. He released it just maybe like 10 years ago or so. So in 2013, this band, they got back together and they wanted to perform the same songs. They wanted to recreate that concert. Obviously, Billy Joel was not going to be a part of this, so they were looking for somebody to sing and play piano. Now, I know the bass player. I've told you about him. We've talked to him on this show, Larry Russell. And I said to Larry, I know a guy who I think would nail it. His name is Elio. So Larry checked Elio out on the internet, liked what he heard, talked to him, and Elio came and did the show. And it was that show that Elio was like, it was the reaction. That show got such a positive reaction, which if you go to eliopace.com, by the way, that show is, a CD and video of that show is available. But Elio said from that concert, he's like, see, this response is telling me that I can do a Billy Joel show. So, and then 2 months later, he premiered his Billy Joel Songbook show. I think the first show he ever did, I think had 50 people show up. And now he's, selling out major theaters in Europe. I think this show he just did this past Monday, I think it was the largest crowd he's ever had. He's performing to thousands of people now, and playing the London Palladium in April, which is like playing Radio City Music Hall here in America. So, so it's a big deal. And he's, Elio's been performing this show ever since. So Elio has 2 albums out, although I think he only considers one of them because one of them was the first album is just an album of covers that he put out. Some Billy Joel songs, some Elton John songs, some Elvis songs. But he has one album of fully original material, and I love it. It's fantastic. So and he, of course, has done shows where he, performs his stuff. But these will be 3 concerts where he's going to be doing his own stuff. So he's going to pick up where he left off over a decade ago with his own songbook. He'll be performing with his glorious 9-piece band, including Neil Fairclough on bass. Neil, who's also been on this show, currently the bass player for Queen. That's right, I said Queen, but also in the band, Elio's better half and so much better looking half, Amy Rhiannon Worth. She'll be singing backup. Just a great band. They're really a fantastic band. We'll be playing some of my old songs, some new ones, and I'll be sprinkling in a few of my favorite covers as well. I do hope you'll come and join us at the wonderful Tivoli Theater in Winbourne, the Stables MK in Milton Keynes, and the Alnwick Playhouse as I begin an exciting new chapter in my career. ElioPace.com tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. You know what? It would help if I showed a graphic. There it is. He's back. This time performing his own songs with his 9-piece band. Elio Pace in concert, My Songbook, My Life, Winbourne, Milton Keynes, Alnwick. In November, ElioPace.com. Go get some tickets and go buy some of his albums. The Billy Joel Songbook is available on DVD and CD. He did an Elvis show a few years ago, which was unbelievable. It's just him on piano and a drummer. And it kicks ass. It really kicks ass. CD and DVD available of that. CD and DVD available of his the show I was just telling you about with Billy Joel's backing band, which actually you could see me in it. They actually called me. They gave me a shout out in the middle of the show. Larry Russell gets on the mic. He goes, "Let's give a shout out to Tony Walker," and then they show me. I'm sitting there like an idiot. You can get Elio Pace's his album. With his original material is called A Seat at My Table. It's amazing. I love it. And I'm going to actually play a song for you from it right now. It's actually a remix. The song is called... So this song is not available on the album. It is, but not in this remixed form. So you can buy that too on ElioPace.com. Buy the single. The song is called Got the Bug Back. It's a great song. I'm going to show you the album cover while I play the song. Just checked out. We did see Dustin open for Nate in October, says Carol. Oh, that's cool. Billy O. Pace. That's funny. All right. I'm going to play the song for you, and we'll be back in a second. Be right back. This song is Got the Bug Back. Elio Pace.
Got the bug back. He's got the bug back. Got the bug back. I've got some good news. I've got to tell you about a friend of mine who had to go away. He's got a company front door and the house paid for. He's got a guaranteed exotic holiday, but he's written to say he's always dreaming of the way it could be. As long
Elio Pace, Got the Bug Back. That's a special remix. The original version can be heard on his album, A Seat at My Table. Go to eliopace.com and check it all out. I wish I could play more music on this show. I like playing music. I feel like a real DJ. That's Elio Pace coming at you live from England. Would you guys like to hear more music on this show? Sometimes I wish I could. We hit, copyright issues all the time, which is why we don't play music. But let's see. So Carol said yes, that she did see just Dustin. But he's great, though. He'd be worth seeing again. Fremder, I like Billy Joel's new song about how he wishes he was Elio Pace, called Laying on the Floor with Tony, Looking at My Bikes. Fremder, I think Got the Bug Back needs to be cut down to 305. Carol, sounds like a mix of Billy and Huey Lewis. Nice, with a heart. She likes it. I like it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. And yes, it does. There is a little bit of Billy and Huey Lewis in that. Actually, if you guys remember, was it the first time Elio was ever in here with Amy and his dad? Was that the first time he was here? It might have been. Where we had him sing Hip to Be Square. And he nailed it. Oh, my goodness, did he nail it. And I've been telling him ever since, because he knows Huey Lewis. And I've been telling him, because Huey Lewis, as you guys know, he can't sing anymore. He has he's practically deaf, so he just can't hear the music to sing. So I've said to Elio, I said, you should tell Huey Lewis that he should front the news and go out and sing the Huey Lewis tunes, with the original band. I'm sure the band, these guys, their livelihoods were cut off when Huey started having his hearing problems. The crew especially, those are the guys I always think of because everybody thinks the rock and roll lifestyle is all glamour and fun and everybody's rich. That's not the case, especially for the people behind the scenes. It'd be nice if that crew can get their gig back and have a job and make money to support their families. And maybe even take Huey with you on the show. Maybe have him come out in between songs and talk about this song a little bit, introduce the next song, introduce the band, so that he's still a part of it. And, maybe he can just stand there on stage, off to the side and dance or something, while Elio sings those songs. I don't know. I think it would be great. I'd love to see that. Is the song about forgetting to call the exterminator? Yes. That's exactly what the song's about. So there you go, Elio Pace. So what we got? Maybe I'll just call it a day here. What else do I have? Anything important? No. No. Okay. Yeah, I think I might just call it a day. We're normally out of here in about 5-10 minutes anyway. So thank you to Elio Pace for that announcement. Thank you for letting us play the tune. We'll play some more Elio Pace original music as time goes on. Maybe tomorrow I'll hit you with another one if that's all right with you guys. We have some guests hopeful for tomorrow, so I'm not announcing anybody yet. I'm hoping to have some people join us because I will not have Andy with us. Did I have anybody in the studio this week? Oh, that's right. I had Vicky Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, we didn't have our regular Sean. He's disappeared. We didn't have our regular on Thursday, Mike. We don't have our regular Andy tomorrow. Crazy. All right, but once again, go see a fun comedy show this weekend. John DeResta, who will be on Donversations tomorrow night. We're going to record that with Don, with John DeResta. We're going to record that this afternoon. Sorry. Circling the Drain tonight at 7 o'clock. Of course, coffee with the dog tomorrow morning at 9. So John DeResta, if you don't know John DeResta, look him up. Check him out on Donversations tomorrow. And if you like it, well, then head on over to the brokerage Saturday. If you already know who he is and you like him, go see him tomorrow at the brokerage. Then and then you can go see Dustin Chafin on Saturday at the at McGuire's. I'm a mess. Lots of great stuff going on. Tyler Fisher tonight, Brad Upton this weekend, Sean Brown, Teddy Smith, John DeResta, Dustin Chafin, and I'm sure there'll be a host of great Governor's regulars playing this weekend as well. All sorts of great stuff going on around here. So thanks for watching with us today. Again, Coffee with the Dog tomorrow morning at 9. Circling the Drain tonight at 7. We're back here tomorrow with some special guests. And don't forget John DeResta on Conversations tomorrow night. Everybody have a great, great day. And, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. See ya.
Comedy for your event today. What will you experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
Have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what? Had an awesome time. All right. You had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more.